Hi everyone, I'm Nimratha.
And I'm Chris.
And we're NJ Properties. And welcome to our new podcast.
More than just real estate. Is that right?
Yes, you finally got it. Good job.
That was a good slap.
So, some of our followers want to know a little bit more about us. So, do you want to go first since you've been around for so long?
How far back?
Let's start with the dinosaurs. No, just kidding. Just, I don't know, I guess like where you were born, how you grew up, what made you get into real estate.
That's all the way back.
Just give us your
Born
highlights.
and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii. Shout out.
I'm not asking questions. Give us your life story.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Hawaii. Moved here in the 90s to go to school at Seattle U. And then I've worked pretty much in real estate ever since graduating. First for an operations department, managing a tech firm's real estate assets, all their offices, all of that fun stuff, and then transitioning over to residential real estate in '08. Boom. And then after that, somebody talked me into opening my own firm. Thanks, town. And after that, like 10 years of that, then I managed Berkshire Hathaway offices in Federal Way and Puyallup.
Okay.
And then this person over here whisked me away and brought me here to Keller Williams. And now we're going on 3 years?
We just passed 3 years.
3 years.
Okay, he loves to tell that story about me
That's my
whisking him
story.
away, and it's a lie. It is a complete lie, but that is, I would say, what most people believe. Okay, a little bit about me, and then we can talk a little bit about how NJ Properties actually became a thing.
Hold on, here we go.
I'm a fellow Scorpio, everyone. No, just kidding. Okay, so I was born in Fiji Islands 30 years ago, and my family and I moved to the United States on the 4th of July 2004. We had basically no idea what we were walking into, but when we talk about the American dream, my parents live and breathe that. I would say our first home really kind of set us up for success in that now they own a second home, they were able to get an investment property, and I learned a lot along the process. So we moved here in 2004. We lived in an apartment for about 5 years. My parents bought their first home, a short sale, during when everyone was losing homes. And I was maybe 12, 13 at the time. I had zero concept of what a big deal it was, but it was so cool to me that like my parents were gonna have a house that my friends could come to. And this was the big storm year. Like I think we ended up being stuck at home for 2 weeks, but that's when we moved. Peak snow. My dad had a Chevy S10 pickup. We had no money to like hire movers. It was me, him, and my mom packing up the truck, moving back and forth all day long. One of my best friends, shout out Janess, came, helped me.
Janess.
My job at the new place when my parents were doing the final run was to clean the walls. And I know it's weird saying that out loud, but it was a foreclosure. The people that owned the home before, they didn't want to go anywhere, right? They didn't want to lose their home. They burned a lot of candles, most likely were smoking in the house. You know, there was a lot of things, but me and Janess cleaned those walls. You could call us Mr. Clean. My mom was impressed, and that's hard to do because that lady has OCD. Love you, Mom. From there, my parents worked really, really hard to make that place a home. We lived there for several years. I ended up going to high school right across the street. Go Gators. So basically, my family and I moved to Federal Way in 2004, and we've been here ever since. And I love our little hometown.
You're the mayor.
I'm the mayor of Federal Way. And I think like specifically for us, it made a lot of sense because my uncle that, you know, sponsored us to move here, him and his family live here. And this is just such a melting pot. Like there's a lot of Fijian Indians that live here, a lot of like Asian communities, South Pacific Islands, all of that stuff.
Hawaii.
Yeah, and we love that. Like I love being able to go to a grocery store and be able to buy almost everything that we could get back on the islands and not, you know, just feel that connection to home. And so as I got older, obviously I just like lived and worked here. And funny enough, when my parents got ready to sell our first house is when I met my Puget Sound homes. Back then they were known as Crutcher Dennis. And I was helping my parents through that whole process. And they looked at me one day and they were like, "Are you looking for a job? Because our office is hiring." I had zero concept of what any of that meant. And I was like, you know what, let me shoot my shot. Like, let me do it. Put in my application, met Paul, like came in, we went over the disc, and he hired me the same day. So basically started my real estate career here at Keller Williams Puget Sound.
What's your disc?
My disc? So the disc is a behavioral assessment that we use in
What
real estate.
is yours?
I know, I'm explaining it to the people.
Okay.
I'm a high ID, which means I'm an influencing dominant person. I don't know what the actual like phrase is, but it just means like I'm hypersocial. I love connecting with people, and I'm highly driven, but like I'm a big picture person, so sometimes priorities fall through the cracks for me. So I thrive on like checklists and to-do lists, and my calendar is very, I have to use it. That was one of the things very early on that Pam like taught me. She was like, if you're going to be successful at all in this role, you have to figure out how you can get all of your important things done. And so came in my calendars and to-do lists. But celebrated my 21st birthday here with the crew. I used to be the youngest person in the office. I no longer am. And, you know, a few years passed. Then I went to Berkshire Hathaway, helped kind of run the ship there. And then the opportunity for growth just wasn't there. And that was around the same time that I met Chris. And
Whisked
well,
me away.
Well, apparently I whisked him away, and the rest is history. So, I don't think this is recording.
Oh my god. The lights just went out.
Oh no, it's going. Okay. Sorry guys, it's our first one, so I'm just having slight technical issues, but we're fine. Do you want to talk about how our team was established? Like, you barely gave any personal details about yourself. Clearly,
I mean, I'm clearly not as talkative as you.
You know, we were in our team meeting and someone was like, Chris is a man of few words. And I was like, when you share an office with him, he is not. Anyways, let's tell your rendition of how our team came to be.
Our team.
Yeah.
Oh, at Berkshire?
Yes. I love that he just name drops places like that, but yes.
I mean, that's where it was at. So while I was managing over there, it's difficult to run your own real estate business and whatnot. So on the hunt, looking for somebody that could help with that. And there she was, the one that knows where all the bodies are buried. Literally.
I mean, what can I say? I was good at my job, guys. Ask anyone.
And so that was it. Basically, hey, you want to help me run, or at least work my sphere, what I had at the time, and go from there. So we did, what did we do the first one? The Hesses?
No, because, actually, no, my very first transaction out of the gate was Enumclaw.
Oh.
And then it was the Hesses. Yeah. Because the Enumclaw came on the market, I think, June. I got licensed June 1st. Then it closed in September. And then we were simultaneously dealing with the Hesses at the same time.
So yeah, that was the beginning of it. And then, I don't know, Like I like to tell everybody, managing real estate offices is hard. If you have an aspiration to do that, God bless you. Nicole and Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I think like we were kind of at a crossroads, the both of us at that time. Like my goal was to help run a different division over at Berkshire Hathaway. That did not come together, and so I was kind of like scrambling and looking at other options. And during that time was also when I decided I wasn't gonna go to med school. That was plan A. I'd actually taken my MCATs, like started doing my applications, and then something really terrible happened in my life that kind of threw the whole trajectory off. And then Chris was going through something similar with his family where he just needed more time. Like our jobs were set up in that way where we were kind of working 24/7 and had to be indispensable always, and that was difficult during that time.
For sure.
And so, you know, we were like, you know what, instead of like doing this part-time partnership thing, like why don't we give it a go and see how we feel like doing this full time? And so at that time we decided, okay, we're gonna do this full time, and we started looking at our options for where we wanted to go, how we were gonna build our business, because there was some animosity where we were at with us working together. So obviously that was not going to be the environment that we thrive and grow in. So I will let Chris tell this part of the story because he absolutely loves telling it, about how we came to Keller Williams and then formed our partnership.
Oh, we came?
Yeah.
I mean, we made an appointment.
We made an appointment because
to
I was
see-
like, this is the best office I've ever been at. Like, it raised me. It feels like home. I just had
Yeah.
like lots of great things to say about it always.
Yep. And then we had an appointment, and we came here to meet with the TL, and she was unavailable, so we met with Pam.
And when the front desk told me, he's like, your meeting's with Pam Ranch. And for those of you who don't know that, that name carries a lot of weight in our world. And she was my boss, my mentor when I worked here. She owns this brokerage, her and her husband, and now they own like 7 others. So they've really rapidly grown in the time that I've known them. But obviously when I left, like, everyone always has a little bit of a bitter taste in their mouth, but Keller Williams has always been huge about leaving that door open, so you always have an opportunity to come back. But I just remember when he said that, I was like, okay, Chris, you have to do this meeting by yourself. Like, I want to leave. I feel physically ill. And then, of course, she takes us into the one conference room that, like, I hated over the years. Like, I always felt like, oh, crap, it's small, and there's no windows. Like, I feel suffocated. It's definitely feeling like an interrogation.
She did that on purpose.
I know she did that on purpose. Yeah. But we go into this meeting, we sit down, you know, she's like asking me how I've been, you know, we're giving her the lowdown, and then,
What's your numbers? What do you want to do? All the stuff.
yeah, so she obviously looked Chris up. She was impressed. Like, she's like, this is why she took the meeting, right? Because he had done quite a lot of business in his time when he was not managing an office. And so for them, it was like, holy crap, this guy's just walking into our office to be like, I want to hang my license here? What's wrong? So she was like, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Take it away, Chris.
Yep. And so we did all the things, which is good. They make you think about your business here. And then what sealed the deal for me, which is different from Nimrata, was basically she had asked us, you know, what are our goals and what we want to do. But what resonated with me was, I don't know, if I asked her, she asked, like, what are your goals? Thinking, you know, we were going to hear something similar from the owners of a major firm. But at that time, I think their goal was to make 5 more?
13 total, and 5 more in our office.
Yeah, millionaire agents in the office, which, I don't know, that just kind of struck a chord with me that, you know, people who have obviously made it are ready to, you know, and willing to put all their energy behind trying to make other people successful. So, yeah.
So that obviously made him feel awesome, and I think, like, if she wasn't in the room, he would have been like, let's sign the papers right now. But basically like having that conversation concreted for him everything that I had said and like experienced here. And obviously it was very different. Like I was coming from an admin standpoint, never been in the sales world. Like I always worked a 9 to 5, so you can only imagine like how much anxiety I had around doing all of this. And then, you know, at the same time, simultaneously, like we're going through really heavy personal things. So we're having to prioritize our business, like quitting our jobs, like going into a commission only thing, building ourselves from the ground up while we're dealing with some really, really heavy major stuff. And it was tough, but I think like we made the right decision and that really helped. We were able to move over, like we delayed it a few times just because like our previous employers were like, we need you still, and we're never those people. Like we're never gonna abandon ship, like we're not gonna say terrible things about anyone. So we did our job, came here, and that's how NJ Properties was born. Fun fact, our name was supposed to be what, Chris?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he likes to put that one away because he knows he's the one that effed it up.
What?
It was supposed to be NC Properties.
Yeah.
It was always supposed to be named after us, Nimrata and Chris Properties, right? Like our initials. Then when we went to go look into it,
It was taken.
Yeah, someone
Yeah.
had already taken it. And so we just kind of flipped over to our last names, and so it's now Nand John Properties.
I think I came up with that.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did. I
And
think
the logo.
I was being funny, and I wanted to go like homes and lands. You know, I wanted it to be all encompassing. I didn't want it to be just homes. And he's like, brother, there's a name for that. There's a word we can use. It's properties. And so that's how NJ Properties was born. And now it's been alive and well for 3.5 years. We've had great success. We've had some lows, learned a lot. It's been a lot of fun. I don't know. What else do the people want to know? I feel like
I don't know.
barely shared anything. Like, tell the people what you like to do for fun. Where do you live? What other things do you... As you guys can tell, if you couldn't tell, Chris loves the Seahawks.
I mean, who doesn't?
There's a lot of people.
They're in
Anyways.
Washington.
Well, yeah, I mean, tell the people, like, where you live, what you like to do for fun.
I'm not going to tell you where I live, but you probably know, those who you know.
I told the people. I said I'm the mayor of Federal Way.
I know, crazy.
Oh, whatever. My whole life is, like, on social media. It's okay.
What I like to do in my spare time, we paddleboard in the summer, for sure. Scuba diving. Just got back from the Maldives. If you haven't been, you have to go. It's amazing. Running, getting back into that. I have agreed
So
to
many months.
agreed to run a marathon, Seattle Marathon 2026, November. We'll be there. So that's getting back on the cycle. If anybody wants to go running, let me know, because that's cool. I don't know. I like that. It's definitely a stress reliever. And the gym. Go to the gym every afternoon. But besides that, pretty much working all the time, whether at the office or at home.
Yeah, I mean, ditto. Like, I'm obviously a water sign, and we're both from the islands. So it's both a win and a loss for us, like being in the PNW, because we get to be close to water, but we don't get to go into the ocean per se, because it's typically freezing. So when we do paddleboard, we
It's
either...
not the ocean, it's the Puget Sound.
It's the Pacific Ocean that goes into the Puget Sound. Okay, thank you. I've taken... this is what I do.
And then if anybody knows how to hydrofoil, like, look me up. I want to do that too.
Oh, yes, he's trying to get us to do that next summer, and I'm like scared about it. But yeah, we go out paddleboarding quite often in the summer. We typically do lakes, but we've done the Sound a few times. The only thing is like if you're not going when it's super hot out, your leg is basically gonna freeze off. Because I was dumb and I decided to put my legs in for a while, and I think my foot got a cramp, and it's been
Was that Fox Island?
Yeah, like when we went off of Pam's thing.
Oh.
That day it was really cold. And I love watching like movies and TV shows. My friends and I now are doing this thing where we watch series together and kind of like talk about it. So that's always fun. I have 2 nieces and a nephew, and they annoy me, but I love them so much, and I always do things with them. My friends have kids. I'm very fortunate that I get to be the fun TT for now, so I do that kind of stuff a lot. Recently found my passion and love for fitness, so I'm at the gym quite often, but also trying to like expand my horizons. And I'm allergic to 32 kinds of pollen in Washington State, so until recently, like I really avoided the outdoors, but I'm going to push myself this next year to like get out and do more hikes and things. That's what my friends like to do. Traveling. Chris and I are both like avid travelers. I don't know why he didn't say that.
Oh, I forgot. I talked about that.
Well, you said you went to the Maldives. That's one place.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of places. Brazil, if you're catch my drift. I don't know. Yeah, like I'll try just about anything once. Like
Except turkey.
I've tried it. I don't like it. I don't like smoked foods.
Smoked food. Oh god.
Let's see. I don't know. My thing is like, it's really funny. I'm sure like the people that grew up in Disneyland, like the Disney Channel, the millennials will understand when I say this, but my birthday is what I consider a crossover episode. And what I mean by that is I bring my friend groups together that don't typically hang out, and I force them all to do an activity together. So like last year or 2 years ago, we did make our own bouquets, and I did it here in the office. So we all got together, we had a vendor come in and bring different flowers, we put our stuff together, played a bunch of girly games, like drank a little, it was fun. The year before that, we made custom candles. We've done painting with a sip. So when I say like I'm down to try everything once, I will. Okay, what's the coolest thing you've ever done, Chris? Like if someone wrote about you in the history book.
I don't know. The coolest? I do a lot of cool things.
Okay, one of the coolest things you've done.
I mean, just recently in the Maldives, we dove. I can't remember what it was called, but there's lots of sharks. And so they hooked us into the coral reef so we could stay because there's so much current. And then basically you're flying because the current's lifting you up, and as you're flying there, the sharks are coming up to feed off of the current right there in front of your face. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, I'd highly recommend it. And landing to your destination on a seaplane is like, that's baller for sure.
Yeah. I mean, he always sells himself short. He didn't tell you guys why he was in the Maldives, which I think this is actually cooler than that. He went to go get his rescue diver certification. So he now can save you if you're drowning.
But don't.
Oh yeah, but please don't. Yeah, so that was really cool. I mean, I spent time in the Maldives too. I think, inspired that whole trip of his. I would not shut up about it. I loved every minute of my time there. It was so fun. I also dove, but I have a deviated septum, and so for me, I think it was maybe a one and done, because just the whole breathing mechanism of it and me like overthinking it and feeling like I couldn't breathe the whole time, it scared me, which is weird because I love being in the water and I thought it was going to give me like so much peace, but I was in there and I was like, is my 40 minutes up yet? Is my 40-minute dive time up yet? Like that's all I could think about until like we got to this coral reef and there was like this little reef tip shark and he was just sleeping. That is what gave me the most peace. And then I saw barracuda at the corner of my eye and I was like, yeah, I'm done. I need out of this water. And that was a very weird experience for me because my dad actually holds a title for like the most dives done in the world ever. Like it runs in our family, but I am probably the only one out of my siblings who is adventurous enough to even try. Oh yeah, you got siblings, Chris?
I do.
Tell them.
My sister Kim is a rear admiral in the Navy Reserve. Oh, and my nephews are both. One's in the Space Force and the other is in the Navy. He's a naval aviator over here in Whitby.
And his niece is super
And my
smart. Go
niece
ahead.
is hella smart, and she works at Lockheed Martin in Fort Worth on the F-35s over there. So, yeah,
So military family
highly
through and through.
motivated, smart people.
All of them.
It's intimidating.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, like, I don't come from obviously that background. Like, my parents are, I would say, very middle class, hardworking immigrants, and I love them. Like, I think that's why our partnership works so well. Is our background. We both come from small islands, so we have similar like upbringings and values, and we really appreciate what the other person brings to the table, don't you think? And we're both like really hardworking. In fact, our philosophy, because our company is still so like young, is that we work when our clients don't. And sometimes that means that we work 24/7 for 2-3 months straight. And we're
And if you
thankful for
text
that.
us at 12 o'clock at night, we will answer.
Yeah, but please don't. But it does happen.
But if you do, we will.
Yeah, one of us will always respond, and I think that's also the great thing about having the two of us is if we're ever needed in two places at one time, we can kind of just split off and go do our own thing. But that's like one of the big things that we bring to the table is you get two for the price of one. Chris, like,
Well, we should be 2 for the price of 2.
we should, but that's not how it works. And Chris constantly sells himself short, guys. Like, he's been doing this for almost as long as I've been alive. And that's a big deal. He has seen the recession, and he's done just about
Seen a
anything.
couple of them.
Yeah, he's done just about everything under
And
the
we're not
sun.
going into one, so don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was a managing broker. He'd owned his own firm. And so in that sense, like, I have been so lucky that I get to work alongside him and learn as I go. I remember, like, when I first started working with him and then I had to write my first offer, I was so nervous. And, like, I was like trying to look for examples because I didn't want to ask him any questions.
Yeah.
Like, if you know me at all, you know that I've always been a high achiever and I hate doing things that like I don't know. And what you learn in real estate school is completely the opposite of what you put into practice when you're actually selling real estate. So when I had to write my first offer, I'm like, cool, let me look for an example. But every transaction is different. So that did me no good. So then I had to ask him for help, and he's like sitting there like teaching me like this, and it's giving me PTSD from like my mom. And that happened a few times. Like, do you remember it used to take me so long to write offers, and the whole time I'd be like, can you look this over for me? Can you look this over?
Yeah.
And now,
Still doing it.
oh please. Now I'm like, he'll be like, weren't you supposed to work on that offer? And I'm like, yeah, I already did it and it's submitted.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like,
All right.
oh, okay, cool. And we did a really awesome thing. We hired a transaction coordinator.
Yeah, Barrett.
Yeah, she's the best. That was one of the first decisions we made where she helps us like with our paperwork and our timelines, and our clients
Everything.
love her.
Yeah.
We love her. Like, she's been awesome. So we write our offers, but then she kind of helps us do the rest of it. And with Chris's years of experience, we have like a bunch of little tricks to be able to usually help you win offers. And for me, like, I'm really big on the relationship piece of it. So from day one, I'm trying to build rapport. If I'm representing a buyer, like, I'm calling that listing agent, I'm having a conversation, like really
Old
talking
school.
through, yeah. And I'm from the generation of texting, and it did make me uncomfortable to have to like pick up a phone and talk to people, and it still sometimes does. Like, he'll be like, can you call instead of texting? And I'm like, a text is so much more convenient.
It is, but it's
But
not as personal.
No, it's not. And
And
we are
this is a
in-
very personal experience. You're buying a house.
Exactly. And, you know, that's what we hope to reflect in our business is that we are here for one of the biggest transactions of your whole life, but it's not just a transaction. This is about
This
your
is
kid.
your home. It's
Yeah.
where you raise your family, have memories. It's a big deal.
Exactly.
And it'll be the most expensive thing you've ever owned.
right.
So you should take it seriously. Because we do.
Yeah, no, totally. And, you know, just this past weekend, we were in the car with some of our out-of-state clients, and we looked at 8 homes, and we had 2 very strong contenders. And while we were in these homes, which we haven't seen these in months, we got texts from agents that said, hey, we have an offer coming in, and hey,
Crazy.
we've had 2 people seriously considering, like, what do your clients want to do? We are never the ones to pressure our clients. Like, if we know deep in our heart this is their home and like they have expressed that to us, then yes, we're gonna bring that to you and be like, if you want this house, you're gonna have to do X, Y, and Z right now to make that happen. But that day, we just weren't there. Like, it didn't feel like that. And I remember saying to them, I'm like, this isn't your home, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna find your home. And I think that like gave them so much peace that the next day they decided to kind of just drive around and check out other new neighborhoods, new construction, and
Well, we had shown them one of the houses was one of the folks we work with, Garrett Custom Homes, and they build a beautiful house.
exactly, yeah, they're one of my favorite builders. And like I knew, I had a feeling that they were going to gravitate towards one of their builds. So of course, when they went out the following day without us, later on during the day we get a text like, hey, you know, we drove by this new and upcoming community, hasn't even been built yet, but it's by this builder and we're very interested. And guess what, guys? We're in contract today, and they're going to be building their dream home. And on the phone, they said to me, Nimrata, it's only because you like supported our decision and said to us, this isn't your house, and that's okay, that we were able to go and find our home, and now we get to build it.
Cool.
So that to me is so cool, and that's why I really love what we do. Like, it's stuff like that.
But still weird that nothing's been going on, but we literally had to wait to get into houses, to look at houses the other weekend. Where was everybody for the last 2 months?
I know, and like just to kind of give you guys a reference, like we were not shopping in first-time home buyer price ranges. Like we're looking for one of our buyers up to $950,000, and the other buyers were up to $1.5 million. So the fact that there is competition there now is crazy.
Yeah.
To us, but that does go to show that 2026 will most likely be a better time for real estate. So if you are thinking about making a move, you might as well start, you know, getting your ducks in a
Do
row
it now, yeah. It's gonna get even more competitive later.
Exactly. Well, anything else we want to leave the people with?
Go Hawks.
Go Hogs! I hope our quarterback plays tomorrow, and I hope we win this game, and I hope you all win your parlays. Good night. We'll
God
see you
bless.
soon on
Bye.
More Than Real Estate.